So in finding the volume by rotating about x-axis using shell method, we have the following. So this is x-axis. It means that we need to write down everything in terms of y. So let us start graphing these. Y is equal to square root of x. Y is 0. And you have a decreasing line, x plus y equals to 2. The very first graph is y equals to square root of x, which behaves like this. Then you have y equal to 0, which is your x-axis, and the decreasing line hit x and y at 2. The region that you're focusing on is this region here. By symmetry, since you're rotating about x-axis, this is what you have. And then as usual, we're going to use some dotted lines to show that, hey, we rotate this about x-axis. Okay, perfect. Now a typical cylinder is behaving like this. So the cylinder that you want to calculate the circumference and the height behaves like this. In applying the method of shell, the volume is the definite integral of the circumference times the height with respect to y. Calculating the circumference is not that difficult, because what are you dealing with? You are dealing with this cylinder, and the radius is located on y-axis. The radius depends on y. So the circumference is 2 pi r or 2 pi y. This is this guy. What about the height? How your height is changing? The height has maximum y value, which is located here. Then it has the minimum value, which is located here. So you basically have the height that is going up and down over the line and then stopping at your square root here. So here you have x, which is equal to 2 minus y. Let me erase these unnecessary parts to avoid any confusion. And the smaller x is on your square root. But how do we write x in terms of y? X is y squared. So that's how you calculate your h. So the h itself can be written this way. H is 2 minus y minus y squared. Then you take the integral, definite integral with respect to y. But what is the lower bound? What is the upper bound here? Right? So let's see, what is the intersection between these two? Y is equal to square root of x, and we know that x plus y is equal to 2. We want to find the boundary for your y, right? So from the very first equation, x is y squared. Since x is y squared, just substitute it here. You get y squared plus y minus 2 equal to 0. So in turns, you can solve this quadratic equation. We're looking for two numbers. Their multiplication is -2 and their summation is +1. So here -1, y plus 2, set it equal to 0. So y is 1 and y is -2. But we don't need the negative value. The y ranges between 0 and 1. The rest is just pure calculation. The volume is equal to 2 pi, definite integral 0 to 1. Let us distribute y into parentheses. You get 2y minus y squared minus y cubed, then dy. So the volume can be written as 2 pi y squared minus a third y cubed minus a fourth y to the 4, 0 to 1, or the volume is 2 pi. We're not really worried about 0. 1 minus a third minus a fourth. If you take common denominator, 12, you have 12 minus 4 minus 3, or the volume is, if you simplify this guy, you get, okay, 12 minus 7, 5 pi over 6.